Hello students, today we will start a new chapter, Money and Credit Economics chapter. The chapter start with that how transactions are made, how goods etc. are exchanged. The most traditional method was barter system. When money was not introduced, that time people used to exchange goods. Like a person is having wheat and he want rice in exchange. You can go to the person who is having extra rice and can exchange with wheat. That is barter system. Now, definition it will be mutual exchange of goods without use of money is barter system. But there is a limitation of barter system. Suppose I am having wheat and I want to exchange it with rice. I go to a person who is having rice and he says that I want to give rice, but I want barley or something else. I don't want wheat. Now I have to search a person who can exchange my wheat with barley and then I will go to the person who is having rice. That means there is lot of confusion. This thing is known as double coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants. That means what I want to give, the other person need and vice versa. That is double coincidence of want. This is the essential feature of barter system. Then, but every time it is not possible. So we needed something which can be used as intermediate in this process of exchange. That was money. Money is something which can be used as an intermediate in this process of exchange. Money has evolved or changed with time. Long back it was grains or cattle etc. was used as money. So that was one thing. Then came metallic coins, silver coin, gold coin etc. So that time coin was money. And nowadays the modern form of money is paper currency, that is paper notes, and coins are also still. So coins and paper notes are the modern form of money. Paper note is not having any value of its own. It is the promissory note which is written on it. Like we talk about India only. Indian rupee, that paper is not having value. Value is of that promissory note. Because this paper note is authorized, issued by Government of India through RBI. They are, so Government of India has legalized it. No individual can print the rupee, the currency. Only government, and no individual can refuse any transaction in Indian rupee. So that is the Government of India has legalized. Right? This is the currency note, and every person in India has to use that. No one can refuse. Can nahi mere ko rupees mein nahi, I want something else like dollar or dinar, etc. So that is illegal. Clear? Now coming to the next point, there are institutions like banks. Bank mediate between those who are having surplus money and those who need money. Like there are people who are having surplus money. They are earning like they got a salary and the whole salary they may, do not require at that point of time. So what can they do? They can deposit the money in bank. So these are depositors. They deposit the money in bank. Bank will keep some amount of money with it, and rest of the money bank give us loan. Bank mediate between those who are having surplus money and those who need money. So these are the deposits and these are the loans. Now, why people will deposit money in bank? The money there, it is their money. This question has also been asked in exam. Why people deposit money in bank? They get interest. If a person is having 1 lakh rupees and if we keep that 1 lakh rupee at home, after 5 years also it will remain 1 lakh rupee. If the money is deposited in bank, it will become 1 lakh 25,000, 40,000, 150, whatever it is. So that is extra which is earning. That is interest. Second, safety. For safety also people deposit money in bank. घर पे इसके बैंक में जमा करना. And the third is can withdraw at any time. Whenever they want, they can withdraw that money. So these are the reasons why people deposit money in bank. Bank will give some interest to the depositors, some amount of money. Bank give as interest and charge interest from the borrowers, those who are taken loan. This interest will be higher than this. Suppose bank is giving 5% interest to the depositor. Bank is charging 10%, 9% interest from the borrowers. And some amount of money bank will keep reserve with it in cash. It will not extend as loan. For example, suppose 15% of the money bank will keep at reserve. That anyone, suppose this is A, B, C, D, E. And the B comes, whatever money I have deposited, I need it. So bank can give that money back, return. So some amount of money bank always keep as cash reserve. Other money bank can give as loan. So this is how banks generally work. Now, these kind of deposit, like the person who has deposited money in bank and can withdraw at any time, such deposits are known as demand deposits. Demand deposits. And this has one more feature associated with banks, that is check. Check a payer who want to pay money. One is directly I can take, suppose I want to give money, I have to carry the cash. Another way can be, I can pay it through check. Now what is check? Check is a paper instructing bank to give a specific amount of money from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. Generally, a check is a paper. Here the name of the bank, etc. will be written. Here column for date, etc. Then to pay, you can write the name of the person. I need to pay him. Here you can write that account pay. Then amount. 10,000 rupees suppose. So here that has to be right. 10,000 rupees only. Then in here in cash also number. So this is 10,000. Here the name of the bank, etc. is written. Here check number, other codes which are used by bank, and here sign. I am giving the check, so I have to sign here. So somewhat this kind of system is there for check. So it is a paper instructing bank to give a specific amount of money from the person's account, one who is the issuing the check, to the person in whose name the check has been issued. The check has been issued in the name of ABC. So this money will be given to ABC. Clear? So without carrying cash, etc., the payments can be settled. So this is a feature of demand deposits. Now next, we discuss how the banks work, how check is a modern form of like money, currency, like which can settle the transactions without cash. So next is credit, that is loan. Normally we call loan. So credit actually is the technical term. So credit refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with goods, services, or money in return for the promise of future payment. Right? They need to pay it in future. That is essential. So, person can take money or certain goods. A person goes to the shopkeeper and asks for different goods which he require. Suppose he take a book. Okay, tomorrow I will come. Yeah, after 1 month I will come and pay. That is credit. Or services. Different services which we use. After using we pay the bill. So all these are credit. But there is a promise of future payment. We have to pay. Otherwise it is a gift, not a credit. Clear? So this is credit. Why we need credit? In rural as well as urban areas, credit is essential. Rural area, farmers, etc. require credit for their farming capital, seeds, fertilizer, electricity bill, etc. They take loan or credit from local money lender or bank, etc. and pay it in future. So, in urban areas also, there is a need of credit. Loans are essential for making home or purchasing car or different education loan, etc. So all these are loans. Yeah, credit. Clear? Now, in NCERT book there are two stories given. First and second story in the box. These stories are also can be asked in exam. There are two situations given. One is situation is of Salim, who is the shoemaker. He take loan and then make shoes and he earn good money. Second is Sapna's problem, where this lady take loan or credit and for farming and the crop fails and she is in trouble. So these are the two different conditions explained here. Clear? Now, credits that mean loan or credit can be sometimes very useful. A person can take advantage, can earn lot, but sometimes it can be very painful also. When the recovery is painful, it is known as debt trap. Then comes certain some definitions which are also important, like collateral. Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns. If I am taking loan and I am having some asset like land, vehicle, I am having some deposit, FD, etc. in bank, which I can use as guarantee to the lender until the loan is repaid. Until I pay the loan, the paper, etc. can be with the bank from where I am taking loan. So that is collateral. Then there are definitions like terms of credit. Terms of credit which include collateral, mode of repayment, rate of interest, etc. These are collectively called terms of credit. Clear? The remaining part of the chapter we will do in the next video.